A good and beautiful morning one more time on this channel. This is Albert Nation, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming you to my life experiences. And I have taken this video while it is still early in the morning, and I'm gonna take another one to finish it off at the same place, same position, so that you can be able to see the difference that light and darkness bring into education and living. And so clearly, as you can see, I've been sharing my experiences based on many different things that I do around about my life. And so today, the whole idea that I've been thinking about is you do not have to go pro to start, but indeed you must start, learn the ropes, get into the process, and finally maybe just go pro. you know because many times we look at people who are inspiring us, are role models, mentors, and people who have succeeded, and it is very tough to want to think, will I ever get there? How can I be like so and so, this person that I admire? What do I get to do to be like them? Only for you to come and hear people like Myron Golden saying that I've done this for 26 years. Jim Rohn, having done this until by the time he was dying at 79, he had been at it. So, anybody whom you admire today, put in the work. They started at some point and they continued with consistency, urgency, research and development, extended networking, learning. And that is what many of us do not do. You feel overwhelmed because somebody else appears super knowledgeable and very successful. But trust me, one very important aspect is always, as Simon Sinek said, identify and start with your why. Why do you want to do this thing? Why is it inspiring you? How did you know about it? What difference will it make in your life? What inspires you to want to do it? Are you ready to do it for life? Is it something you are passionate about? Is it in line with your purpose? These are the very basic questions that sometimes nature and environment needs to just teach us, because we don't get it. We allow the noise of the external environment catch up with us. And many times when you see people as success, you want to make a decision based on somebody else's success. But what if you just focused on what you're good at? What if you just decided that this is my thing? I'm also going to stick onto it until it works. Because trust me, it will work. You might have to tweak things every now and then along the journey, but it will work. Because everybody else who is inspiring us and we want to be like them, we want to succeed like them, we want to be possibly happy like them, held on to something and went on ahead with it. So ladies and gentlemen, today I have 5 lessons that I'm learning from simply planting seedlings. And this is video number 2, remember, because I had already talked about something else earlier. So, in terms of going pro, the first thing is you learn the habit of continuous learning. Continuous learning. Everything that happens around your life teaches you one thing or the other. But remember, many times we get biased based on our own thought lines, our own opinions, our own biases. And so, what are facts? What are opinions? What are good ideas? But either way, learning has to be continuous. So many times you might find yourself saying that there are things you don't like, there are things you don't do, there are things you don't prefer. But trust me, therein there are lessons. So continuous learning is the first model that you've got to constantly approach. What do you grasp and glean from the things that are around you? Number 2, every single thing that you do, and in particular when it comes to plantations, planting of stuff and just developing this, trust me, your habits become different. because it teaches you commitment, it teaches you dedication, it teaches you ways of constantly learning how to implement new things. Because when that flower is growing, there is the idea of pouring water, there is pruning, weeding. There's so much. It might even get infected by pesticides or, crawlers that come onto it. The leaves change color. And constantly you want to learn what has happened to my avocado plant. Why is this tree drying? And so you constantly continue to build habits of asking questions, patience, resilience. Every single day you need to check on them and water them. And if they grow, you become happy. So is this how I water my own life? Is this how I manage my own life? And so, like I said, this is not just about planting trees or seedlings. It is about life development, things that you question your own self and apply in your own way. Number 3, environmental techniques. Just like I said, when you begin planting trees in your porch, in your veranda, in whichever space that you have, you continue to build liking for and appreciation for environmental preservation and conservation. Plastics are things that you will constantly fill them up in the pit. Why don't you repurpose and reuse them for something else? Why can't you create something else using this material that hitherto could have just been thrown to fill up the garbage pit? So like I said, you have to now do a little bit of research. What can I repurpose this to? What can I use it for? What can I change and recycle while I'm doing this? And you continue to learn very, very good environmental techniques and skills that you can even pass on to other people, even in your family, for those who did not get it. Because the easiest thing is just to dump and trash, dump and trash, dump and trash. But do you realize that waste management is actually a very critical life hack that you can do for your own self? And so today I'm throwing the challenge at you. How much plastic do you throw? How many things in your house could be repurposed, yet you fill them up in the dustbin basket? That's a challenge, because trust me, life has a lot of things that you can do with what you have around you. Number 4, this is your Porsche. As you stay, you can repurpose it and make it look beautiful. Planting trees, shifting things from one level to another. Trust me, the seedlings that grow within your porch just become beautiful. Every time you look at them, every time you are closer to them, the ambience that they create in the environment that you walk into, that green feeling has something that it does to your own body, your mind, your breathing, your the air around you. There's just something that trees, flowers, and plants do to your environment. Because remember, of late we are all living in stone towers. Everything around us is stones and stones and stones, cement, rocks, plastic, metal bars. So you want to add some greenery within your environment, and this can only take your dedication to adding plants in your porch. You can make it beautiful, you can make it work. As this continues to be, remember, there is always a lot to learn. And that's what I keep on insisting on. Apart from building your knowledge, apart from creating different habits and just getting into the environmental space, there is a lot that you continuously learn, and you even develop a liking for making places green. And that is how you participate. And so while I'm doing this, I just sat back and I was thinking, how is this helping me? What is it doing to my future? How am I liking what I'm doing? Because if you're ambitious and one day you know you will own your own home, you want to know what type of plants to put in your compound. You want to know what trees works best. Do you want to wait until then and get somebody else to do it for you? These people will not maintain it for you forever. You want to walk into your own yard and just look and touch trees and be happy that I planted this tree 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And this will give you so much value. And while at it, who knows? You might even have a retirement business, because when you start putting in seedlings and selling them to your neighbors, you've become an expert knowledgeable about this different species that happen, how they behave, what affects them, how to plant them, what kind of pesticides to use to be able to get rid of all those infections on the leaves, on the roots, and all that stuff, you become a pro. And so what I've been talking about today is various things that we might overlook or undermine or really get to underrate can shift and change our lives. A lot of things happen around us that continue to build us. But you see, the daily hustles and bustles of life are things that we can allow to get us so busy such that we miss out on the very, very, very basic but very important aspects of what develops us. So take your time, look at your environment, find a passion, find a purpose, develop a new skill, and trust me, this takes engagement. Once you have committed to it, it makes you different. I have personally developed a liking for tree seedlings and flowers, and I've done this for the last 4 to 5 years, and it's just getting better. New business models, new business ideas. Who knows? I might be knocking at your door someday saying that I'm a landscaper, I'm an environmental specialist, and I can advise and help you to do this for yourself. That's where I'm headed. And so I just thought I would pass this on to us because many different times, we overlook things, yet they can transform our lives. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. I just need to know your experience. What have you done at your porch? What do you love doing about seedlings, planting? Are you a farmer? Are you a wannabe? Has this video changed your mind to want to start doing different things within your environment, within your compound? Do you love flowers? Well, let's talk. Engage me and let's see what we can do. And at some point, if you're even better than me, because I know everybody starts at a different point, let me know. I want to come and visit. I want to come and see. And I know that by the end of the day, we will all be able to make our environment such an amazing place to live in. So this is not just about planting seedlings, it's about developing habits. When it's all said and done, there's a lot of good stuff around you. Neighbors admire it, but they don't get the time to do this for themselves. But trust me, you can change one mind, one person, every given moment. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Enjoy the rest of the video, and thank you for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, sharing, and adding your ideas here below, because this is what we find time for, and we can all contribute to making the earth a better place. Let's not destroy it, let's preserve it. Yes, and so I leave you again with a video. Remember, I told you that I captured it earlier in the morning, and now we have more light. Look at the difference. If you go back to the start and come to the end, that's what we call transformation. Does light or darkness change your life this way? Light is about what you learn. Darkness is about you not learning anything. But we can change, we can shift, we can transform. These two clips at the beginning and now at the end allude to that very specific point. And that's what I wanted to share. Thank you so much for watching this far. Let me know your thoughts. Bye bye. Thank you. See you again.